Welcome back, Mushroom Man Toad here, and today I was hoping to have for you a new mod release video. But, as you probably read by the title, this is not a mod release video. Instead, I'm doing a top 10 reasons why I couldn't release my mod today video. So, this should be entertaining because a lot of things are broken in fairly humorous ways. So, let's get right into this. Coming in at number 10 is going to be probably the least humorous of anything I wanted to talk about in this video, and that is the textures in this are in serious need of updating. Some things, such as the space rupture, doesn't even have a texture. Mushroom blocks textures. Okay, if you looked at that, you wouldn't really say mushroom block, would you? Neither would I. And there's just lots of things, like, you know, the wob dirt, shadow wob dirt and shadow wob rock, as well as regular wob rock, and... I mean, what in the world is that? That's the dirt of the world? So yeah, like I said, lots of textures need updating. Even this dimensional crystal doesn't even have a texture. So, yeah, there's that. I need to get polished for, like, the Argonite arrow. All sorts of things, like this ore. Really? Actually, that really doesn't look too bad, does it? But that one is literally... That's hideous. Speaking of things with no textures, for number 9, we're going to need a Wabonia and Shadow Wabonia portal. And I'm going to have to do this in survival mode, because this glitch spawns me in a nether portal when I come through. Yes, when I come through, I end up in a nether portal. So if I try to enter a portal, and I'll demonstrate this with Shadow Wabonia in creative mode, if I try to go through this, I'm going to end up, and you'll see it here, maybe it'll flash on this screen. I don't know, OBS likes when I load in a new dimension. Yeah, you got a glimpse of Shadow Wabonia there, and then it's just the nether. And while we're on the topic of Wabonia, this little guy here has spawned in to demonstrate. His hat does not rotate with his head, but rather with his body, which is really, really strange. So, that's another thing about this. But that's actually true of basically every entity added by this. So I'll spawn in. See, this entity, yeah, that's broken. Oh, that's the same one. This entity is it's just bad. That's literally just a pink version of the blue one. So yeah, entity models and textures need updating. And while we're on the topic of blocks that need updated textures, so the next point is going to be these toads. They follow me when I hold out a gold ingot. However, they won't actually take the ingot. So as you can see here, baby toads do exist. But for some reason, they just don't work. And while we're on the topic of entities, everything sounds like a ghast. Why? And for the last entity-related thing on this list, yeah, this was meant to be the final boss of the game. First of all, it doesn't render. Second of all, the projectile it was supposed to have crashes the game. And resolution drop. Alright, so you remember that entity from the last clip that had no texture to it? Or model? Well, how would you obtain that? Well, it would be through obtaining this block, placing it down, and mining it, and that would spawn it in. But how do you get this block? Cue up the silly music, because this is greatness. First, we throw some Luberian ore, which it generates extremely, extremely rarely in the nether, into a furnace. The Luberian ore smelts down into a Luberian ingot. The Luberian ingots are then brought into a crafting bench and crafted into a block of Luberian. We then take this block of Luberian back into the furnace and smelt it down, at which point we have obtained the Luberian core. We then take our Luberian core back into the furnace, to get ourselves a Luberian molecule, which, yes, goes back into the furnace to create a dark particle. Now is where things start to get interesting. You put the dark particles in here, 9 of these, to make one dark molecule. You put the dark molecules in here to get one dark compound. You put the dark compounds in here to get one dark shard. You put the dark shards in here, like this, to get a dark heart shard. You put the dark heart shards in here, like this, to get the dark heart. You then, at this point, put the dark hearts in. And yes, you get the dark collective. You're still not done. But, here's the good news. You put the dark collective in, and you get a block of Darmoketon. As you can see, it's a really simple and comprehensive process, and I mean, it's just great. There's so few items involved in the crafting recipe of it. I think I've adequately explained why this is something that needs patching. Alright, and for the last 3 items on this list, we won't be dealing with any of this fun stuff. We'll be dealing, well, I guess we can do it all with just this space rupture. This is the first glitch. I am falling right now. Okay, this portal places me wherever it feels like placing me. Still in the space dimension for this part of the glitch. And, you see, if I jump through this portal, you'll notice I end up in some random part underneath the world. But if I place down another space rupture, I'm not sure how well you can see that there. There, now you can see it. I've got a space rupture placed down. If I jump into this, and you'll see here if I just build this tower up a bit more. And there it is. I am now trapped inside of a portal loop. That actually took me a minute to get going. But this is a definite glitch that can happen. In survival mode, if you don't have blocks in your selected item in your hotbar, you're basically not going to be able to get out of this, which is really not good. So yeah, that is glitch number 2. Number 1. There's an ender dragon. That should not be an ender dragon. That should be one of the space entities, which is the pink version of the time entity that I showed earlier. Now, the island doesn't actually look that bad. I do wish there was a little more variety here, but I guess I can settle for it. But this dimension is totally broken. Like, I would like to have a spawn in like you would on an end island. Get a little obsidian platform, you spawn in there, and then you can explore on the island. But no, this portal will place you wherever it wants to, and I showed you that earlier on. I just ended up out in the middle of the void, and there's nothing you can do to save yourself at that point, because it's 1.8. So, that is my top 10 glitches that I need to get patched before I can upload a released version of this mod. So, I hope you enjoyed the humor that the bugs have been trolling me with, because that's what they've been doing. If you did, make sure you leave a like. You can't see me at all. Do make sure you leave a like, and do consider subscribing so that when the mod is finally released, you will be right there to know about it. But, with that, I want to thank you for watching. This has been Mushroom Man Toad, and I will see you in the next one. Also, you can see the item in my hand. That's reason number 10.5. I mean, this is just sad.